Everyone, it's Epic World's PCG, and in today's video, I'll be talking about why Liberation of Colotan was truly a masterpiece. This game was created by Magic Paper Productions, aka Sketchy Penguin, who has really since disappeared from the PCG community like many others, and I just want to really appreciate this work because this was the first PCG that I really played of his, and it was the PCG that really got me hooked onto playing and making PCGs. And from now on, I just really want to make games that are well crafted in story, almost like after you watch a satisfying ending of a really good movie, it stays with you and it almost changes your life a little. And that's really what makes a good story. And PCGs, they're not just about the combat, they're not about all the mechanics or gameplay. It's really about the story, and that is what makes them have that dreamlike quality. And so, Liberation of Colotan to me is really the perfect game. Let's start off with the cover because the cover itself is really cool. It's got this awesome font, which I later made a sequel to this game, with the same font. That was pretty cool. But the cover, unlike most PCGs, it's actually playable. So you play as Mesotican, which is, and by the way, this game takes place on Colotan, which is on the planet Toten, which is one of my planets, and that is so cool that he made a game on this. And he really nailed it. So yeah, you are playing as Mesotican, and you just returned from the war against the Hento, which are the evil faction that were taking over a bunch of the planets during the time. That war has since ended. And that is your house, and you decide to enter it. There's also a outpost, which you notice, and there's some weird things flying around it, but you don't pay much attention to it right away. So you walk in the house, and I love this top-down angle. I think that's a really interesting style. And what I remember from this game, I played it like a while ago, right when I first started playing PCGs. But that is Vutrol, aka his name's Peanut, and he's basically a house pet. Many these creatures, half ghosts, have these kind of house pets on this planet, and that guy is Peanut. And at first he's super shy and he doesn't exactly recognize you, so he won't really trust you that much, but you kind of have to earn his trust, and that's something that was it's a puzzle itself, and it's super rewarding because after you really gain his trust a lot and kind of become friends with him, he'll basically copy your actions and help you along in the PCG, which is such a cute little character interaction, and I love that he becomes your companion. And you also have to disable this trap, which you don't know who set it, but you can later give that gun to Peanut and he'll wield it for you. Over here, that's just a kitchen. I don't remember too much about it. But in this room, this was the dining or the living room, and there's like a couch sofa that I was searching the whole house, and I lifted up the couch sofa, and a giant ghost appeared, and he said, "I will take you to Harold." And so far, so right off the bat, there's a bunch of mystery, and you don't exactly know what's going on. So he will basically take you to this outpost over here. And within that outpost, I just remember this puzzle took me a very long time, but I'm just loving the perspective, and the staircase is beautifully drawn. And yeah, so there's a big sense of wonder, like what is in that door right there. But in order to find that, you actually have to kind of hop up over here and go in the perspective of Peanut. And Peanut, when he sticks his eyeball through that little hole, you'll find Turret Joe kind of coming out of a portal. I don't exactly remember how you get a key or something. I'm pretty sure you just had to make Turret Joe shoot down that wall and there was a key behind it. But that took a bunch of persuasion because you are pretty much playing as Peanut at this point. And then it switches back, and you finally go up those stairs over there, and you come into this room, and you see an old man there. And you don't recognize the old man, and you don't know why, who that ghost is over there, but he starts to talk to you, and you realize that he's your father. And later, you realize that he's the Archmage. And that connection right there just made the game so cool to me, because the Archmage and Harold the Evil Ghost are two of my favorite characters I've ever made, and the fact that Sketchy Penguin connected both of them and just tied in the lore story was just really amazing. I also love that there's like this little oil thing, which you actually didn't have to use. Sometimes I just like how there's just random stuff in the game and that you don't even use. It just adds more depth to the world. But that's besides the point. So there's Harold, and when you go to see what Harold's up to, by the way, that is you, Mesotican. That was just a little character art. I printed this out, but you realize that Harold is kind of summoning ghosts over here. And by the way, Teddy at the time is like, "I'm sorry, but I'm sorry I dragged you into this. And yeah, there's not much left for you here." But then you realize that he's actually working with Harold, the evil ghost, and you start to turn on him, and you start to get angry. And then You see your mother over there, who is also a half ghost, and before you can do anything, Harold kills her. The Archmage's wife, Teddy's wife, and Teddy does nothing. This causes such an emotion when you're playing as the character that you become so angry, and I also think deep emotions are really good for PCGs to add player engagement. So yeah, and that is where the game leaves off. Such a cliffhanger. And this game would later be expanded on by me, Liberation of Colotan, and I made a game called Search for the Dagger, which kind of ties in the whole story. So that is why I love this game so much, and I hope this inspires you guys to make just a masterpiece of a game. It doesn't even have to be big. As you can see, this game's only a few screens long, but it really just nailed all the key aspects of making a good PCG. Emotions, you have interesting NPCs that you don't just like talk to and leave. You actually have to gain their trust, and there's just a lot of other really good elements, and that is why this is my favorite PCG of all